on the third and final day of the Riverside Brookfield Summer Shootout. Building is loaded with talent today, and possibly the most amount of talent on court 5 here, with Cole Kelly on one end for Neuqua Valley, and on the other, the heralded and acclaimed prospect. Some people call him the most exciting player to watch in the state. Mr. Basketball in Illinois, Gatorade Player of the Year, Jackson Davis, warming up for Warren Township. A plethora of college coaches in attendance, majority of them being from Division I Power 5 programs. Michigan State, Michigan, Iowa, and Nebraska, just to name a few of the scouts that will be watching Davis perform with Warren today. Warren entering this game already 2-0 on the weekend, beating Homewood Flossmoor in a back-and-forth battle with up-and-comer Darius Hawkins on the other end, and then finishing off their Saturday by beating Leo Catholic yesterday by 17. Davis finishing with the game and tournament high of 38 points with 8 made threes. I'm sure the coaches here in attendance are hoping to see more of that today. Traveling from all routes of the Midwest and beyond. Neuqua Valley, conversely, unfortunately came up short to Leo in yesterday's affair, losing 65-49. But they were able to sweeten their Saturday with another win over Homewood Flossmoor, beating them narrowly by 2 points, 60-58. So they will enter today 1-1. Later on, in a couple hours, they'll play St. Lawrence, a powerhouse 3A program in the state of Illinois. Should make for a great game. Warren set to take on Marion Smith-Holly, the rising freshman, and Peoria Richwoods after this game. Davis seen as possibly the most elite prospect left in the state of Illinois after the departures of Davion Thompson and Devin Cleveland, also in the class of 2027. Forecasted to run it back for another Gatorade Player of the Year in Mr. Basketball. He's only getting better with age. Number 1 on the court. But on the other side, Cole Kelly, another premier recruit. A year younger in the class of 28. He put on a show in their loss to Leo here on court 5 yesterday. Both teams will be exciting for watching. It should make for some exhilarating basketball here early at 9:30 a.m. on this hot Sunday morning. Davis playing club basketball with Chicago Mean Streets on the EYBL circuit alongside teammate Davion Thompson, who transferred to Link Academy in Missouri. Davis staying loyal to the Chicago high school system, and as the starting 5 takes the floor for Warren, number 1 Davis, number 11 Braylon Walker, who played a crucial role in their state final appearance yesterday, alongside number 24, Joel Pash, number 35, not listed on the team sheet, and number 14, Javin Griffin to start. And it's Mason Martin catching it outside, dishing it to Cole Kelly, number 32. Coviello pulling up from 3 early, off the mark. Davis grabs the rebound, going the other way now. Finding Walker. That's outside to Griffin. 35. We assume is Avon King. It's Walker. Outside. Davis hoists off the attachment as that will be Lucas Balgo collecting. That'll be Mason Martin for 3. And Cole Kelly inhales. Back to Martin once again. Too strong. Score remains knotted up at zeros as Walker takes it down with pace. Crossing over to the right side and gets it in with the right hand lay. And that would be an and 1-2, drawing the foul on number 15, Mason Martin. Walker himself accrued quite the mixtape as there's Javin Griffin with the steal and finish on that end. Putting Warren up early 5-0. Coviello now taking it down. Griffin, only a 5'10 guard, but showing his imposition as a brutal defender so far. Violation on Nico Valley. Over to Davis. The trigger man for this Warren offense, as he always has been these last 2 years. Davis hooking one over with the left hand. 7-0 Blue Devils. Cole Kelly. Outside. Corner shot by Martin. Rims around and falls out. Martin, after the handle's picked up. Balgo over to Marcus McGee, who falls down and draws the foul. Warren, for the most part, keeping their same core of players that they kept for last season's state title run. Only really losing Javarion Banks, who was a significant piece for this offense as a senior last year. Davis and Braylon Walker will remain with the team. Some other key departures were Danny Wolf and Zach Osborne, who were some significant bigs for this team that's now remarkably undersized comparatively. And there's Griffin hoisting up a 3. That falls wide. Coviello now the other way. Cole Kelly trying to handle that, but it's last tipped out on Walker from my point of view, but they're going to give it to Warren. Davis. Over to Joel Pash. Pash again. Tries to hook one inside there, feeding. That's Avon King, and it's now corner 3 for Griffin. And that bounces over the backboard. It'll be Nico Valley to inbound. Coviello. Their 6-foot point guard with all the composure in the world. Balgo, pin underneath. Able to spin around and get the bucket over Pash. Davis. Feeds one nicely inside to Avon King, who comes up just short of the basket. Mason Martin now. Inside to McGee, who finds a hole and exploits for the 2-point conversion underneath. Davis will give and go with King. Outside to Pash. Fires one up. Rims out. And that was Griffin there with the putback attempt. That also was no good. Cole Kelly now. Pirouettes. Tries to get one in over Walker, but can't finish. Walker now the other way. Pulls up from the mid-range. That one airballs. Nice feed inside by Cole Kelly to Balgo. And there's Javin Griffin able to rip it away, but it's still going to go out of bounds in favor of the Wildcats. Coviello. Martin. Out to Coviello, who fires and bangs that one in for the mid-range. Nico Valley now leads. Davis inside to King. Offered one up, and that one was no good. Balgo. Kelly, catch and shoot three. Bounces away. Davis, able to snag it from Balgo's hands. Walker now. And that one falls in. Warren Nico Valley now fighting their grooves, it seems. Trading buckets. Kelly up against Walker. Coviello surveying. Back to Kelly. Stop and go. Baseline jumper. Too wide on the mark. Avon King collects. Davis now driving with speed. Defended by Cole Kelly. Star player for Team Breakaway, playing up an age group. Avon King bullying his way under the glass. Too strong on the attempt. It'll be Marcus McGee to inbound. New into the game, number 22, Eli Poulakidis, the brother of former graduate John Poulakidis. Played basketball for the men's Yale team. And there's McGee able to hook one under. Number 44 for Warren on into the mix. Not listed, and so I'll assume that that's number 32, Jordan Ellis, for the sake of roster keeping. Martin pitches it to Poulakidis, who's going to drive in and draw the contact. Absorbs the foul, but can't get it to finish. Also checked in, guard from the 2027 class, number 3, Tate Cordova for the Blue Devils. As you can see, a lot of new pieces that Zach Ryan is toying with as Marcus McGee hits the deck for another foul. Trying to see what sticks. The absences of Osborne and Danny Wolf to graduation have certainly been felt. Kamani digging inside, able to find his way in the center. There'll be another inbound for the Wildcats. Warren had somewhat of a roller coaster season that not a lot of people saw coming when they reached the state title, going 27-11. One of the first teams in a long time to reach the 4A state finals with double digits in the loss column, as Davis is able to drive inside there for a nice layup. Poulakidis now being sworn by Cordova and throws it away. That makes its way over to the announcing table as Walker will inbound it to Jackson Davis. Lofting one over to Ellis. Cordova now hesitating. Stop and go. Slipping left. Able to do a nice little hesitation there, but can't get the bucket to fall. Poulakidis to McGee. This is now Byron Thomas into the game. Kelly able to pick it up inside and detonate. All knotted up at 15 now. Walker outside of Davis. Fires. Cashes that in for his first 3 of the game. He scored 8 of those in yesterday's contest against Leo Catholic, en route to a 38-point tournament high performance. And there's Cole Kelly there, who wasn't as fortunate from range. Braylon Walker serving as point guard and carrying it down to Jordan Ellis. Sinks that one in from the mid-range. Poulakidis, little give and go. Able to finger roll that one inside. A little miscommunication there between Avon King and Jackson Davis. Davis commanding the floor. Lost one way up. And Jordan Ellis is able to snag that one and put it back in using the square. Ashwell Kamani to Darwin Agomi. A big presence inside the paint. Will offer some nice rim protection for this Wildcats team. Davis crossing to his left. Hooks it to Cordova, who's able to drive in down the right side. Baseline J, and it's good. Warren have found their footing are now on a bit of a scoring run. Boulakidis spins on Cordova. Out to Kamani. Attacks the baseline and going to draw the foul. Warren last year hampered with injuries, such as the likes of Javarion Banks and Brandon Walker at several instances of the season, causing them to drop a few games that they normally aren't accustomed to losing. Nonetheless, though, they rallied together as a team with everyone healthy to advance all the way to Urbana-Champaign before coming up short to Bennett in the state finals. Losing just by 155-54 against a very talented starting five, complete by the likes of Blake Fagbemi, who ended up committing to the University of Illinois. Several Division I recruits on that program's roster. Walker now with it, still 24-17 for Warren. Davis hoisting one up and got it somehow from downtown. That's Davis with the second three of the game. You just see the pure shot for him from the incoming junior. Balgro loses the handle, able to get it out to Coviello. Walker now the other way. Lost one over to Shong, but it's Avon King with a putback attempt, and that's grabbed away by Darwin Agomi. Nico Valley 6'10", imposing forward. Coviello inside, able to keep that in under the baseline. Out to Cole Kelly. Martin now, hoisting one up for three, off the mark. Davis grabs the rebound. Davis grabbing a lot of boards early here. Walker to Griffin. Back with Davis, top of the key. Griffin, baseline feed to Walker. Step back, Jay. Falls just short. Mason Martin struggling against Walker. Cole Kelly offers one up and deposits as Nico Valley draws this one closer by 7. Davis at the controls. Able to set one in for Avon King, who gets the and one. Excellent pick and roll there by Davis and King. Davis, one of the best players in the tournament at his ability to roll downhill. Cole Kelly. Agomi. Over to Coviello. Inside to Kelly, who's able to get free and lay that one in. Like I said, a battle of heavyweights on both ends of the floor between Kelly and Jackson Davis. Davis with another three. Splashes that one in, his third of the game. Martin pirouettes. That one rims out. Davis quick on the transition. Out to the corner, tries to find his spot. And that one swirls off the rim. Cross court. That Walker intercepts. He's going to take back the other way. King to Griffin. Attacks the baseline inside, slipping past. And absorbs the contact by Darwin Agomi on his way through. That's number 33, Lincoln Ramig. And number 3, Tay Cordova checking into the game in place of Jordan Ellis and Javin Griffin. Nico Valley faltering in depth in this tournament, which could play a crucial part later on in the game. Marcus McGee. Kelly, baseline feed. Balgro Finding some space. But it's Cordova who knocks it away and takes it quick the other way. And that's Cole Kelly able to knock it loose. But it's Coviello struggling. Pinned underneath by Davis. And Cordova able to get it away to Balgro. Kelly now quickly the other way. Another miscue to Ramig. Cordova now slipping left. Trying to lay one in with the right. Gets absolutely pummeled by Marcus McGee. And he will earn a trip to the line. Cordova, a 6'1" guard, class of 2027. Be an old and experienced one roster heading into the 2025-26 regular season. Not a single underclassman listed. Martin. Kelly, looking to do some damage. McGee over to Coviello, who finds Kelly inside. Cutting into the interior and able to get one in over Walker. Great burst of speed there by the kid who plays breakaway at the club level. Cordova to Walker. Working against. And then over to Davis, who switches home another three there. He's finding his mark early on. Coming up on less than 3 remaining in this first half of action as McGee's able to slither in past. That's number 24, Joel Posh. Braden Walker. Operating as point guard intermittently with Jackson Davis. Getting some reps in between. Walker now lasering home another triple for the Blue Devils. And they're starting to amass somewhat of an insurmountable lead here early, up by 17. Over to Kelly. Looking to change that. Martin from the corner knocks that one down. 29 now for Neuqua Valley. Davis with the handles inside. Tries getting one in over Kelly. Five-inch disparity in height between the two guards. Kelly standing in at 6'6" and Davis at 6'1". Chavin Griffin back into the game alongside Avon King. Walker muscling up against McGee, and that just falls out. Griffin now back with Walker, putting up another three and detonating once again. Walker and Davis leading the charge for this offense. Martin, stop and go. Picks up his dribble. Out to Byron Thomas, who's able to bang in another corner three, this time from the left wing. Over to Avon King, cross court by Davis. Back outside, here's the kick out to Walker. Owen's able to spin past Thomas. Beautiful and one by Braylon Walker, able to get around Thomas, then flick one in over the undersized Marcus McGee. Coviello back at the helm for the Wildcats. Gets it over to Martin. Give and go. Coviello pulls up in that one. Off the backboard. Cordova collects. Cordova launching up a three. Off the mark. Cross court to Martin. They're trying to do something quickly. And that one falls in nicely. 30 remaining. 49-35 the score for Warren. Looking to go 4-0 on the weekend. Have already won their first two. We'll play Peoria Richwoods later on. And Davis looking for one final possession here. He's going to conserve time so he can get the final shot. To King. Corner for Griffin. Davis goes to take the last shot of the first half. And you know that's good. Jackson Davis shooting the lights out of the ball early. Someone call ComEd. 52-35. Blue Devils lead here in this first half of action as we head in for 20 more minutes later on after the break.
I'm announcing for our television station. Nice to meet you. The coach at George Washington? Yeah, I do. Yeah, looking at Jackson Davis. Yeah, I've seen him at a few other tournaments. He's like, I'd say the best prospect we have right now. Like, class of 2026 is Local Illinois. I think 27. So, yeah. Nice to meet you. For sure, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll write down yours. Liam. Nice to meet you. Sounds good. I'll hit you too.
Back with more second half action with Warren leading up by 17, heading in to this final 20 minutes. And it's Thomas dishing one into Coviello, who finishes underneath. Braylon Walker, top of the key. Outside to Avon King. Javin Griffin. Joel Posh now working inside. Kick out to Walker, who hoists one up and connects for the triple. And the hot hand remains scorching for this pair between Davis and Braylon Walker, both playing key roles in last year's state title run in the 2024-25 regular season. That's Cole Kelly with the three. Just off the mark. McGee underneath with the putback finish. Davis finding his groove, able to attack the baseline on the left. Tries hooking one in. No good. It's the kick out to Posh. Taking one in for himself, lofting one up, and that rims out. And Davis with the interception there, unable to connect it as the foul is drawn by Martin. Walker and Davis have the potential to be one of the more formidable duos in the state of Illinois next season. Davis, a junior, and Walker being a senior in class of 2026. Inside for Avon King, showing his physical strength in the interior. Coviello. It's Javin Griffin pestering the 2027 guard. Cole Kelly now inside for Martin. Out to Coviello, who hoists. And once again, connects on a three. That's his second of the game for number 24. While Cole Kelly's been their main point scorer, it's been Coviello as the catalyst for this attack. Marcus McGee to inbound. And here's Coviello engineering the offense. Byron Thomas, baseline feed, broken up by Avon King. Walker to Davis. Davis hesitates, stop and go, inside now, hooking one in with the left, and will draw the foul against Cole Kelly. He'll earn a trip to the line. We talk about diamond duos. There's not many more in the country in Jackson Davis's age, more potent than himself and Davion Thompson on the Chicago Mean Streets EYBL circuit. Davion Thompson leading the entire league and thus the entire nation in points. Davis, of course, being a benefactor of that. As he buries that free throw. Maintaining Warren's lead at 17, 59-42 here. Falls out of bounds. Gonna call a push on Griffin. Griffin, a feisty 5'10" point guard. Showing his capabilities on the defensive side of the ball, however. Kamani. Outside of McGee. Feeds it inside. Kamani able to get the finish in over Griffin. Griffin out to Walker. Tries to splash home a three. And he does once again. It's Walker and Davis just trading buckets here on main gym court 5. Coviello to Kelly. Trying to knife inside on the left. He'll step back for a triple. That one's off the iron. Davis pitches it back to Walker. That one just swirls the rim. Little heat check there for the 2026 guard. Martin splashing one in over an outstretched hand by Walker. Avon King will draw an offensive foul, and this will go the other way for Neuqua Valley. Poulikitis, the brother of John Poulikitis, a leader for the Yale men's basketball team, en route to a March Madness appearance. And here's Kamani launching one, and that one falls in nicely. Up by 15 now, Warren. Davis for three. That's his 5th of the game. Timeout called by Zach Ryan and this Warren coaching staff. Unsure what Coach Ryan is saying in the huddle, but Warren doing an excellent job here early in the second half to set the tone, not taking their foot off the gas pedal. Leo Catholic taking on Homewood Flossmoor on the other floor. Main gym court for Darius Hawkins, an exciting one to watch. Class of 2028 point guard for the Vikings. Went back and forth in a battle with Jackson Davis. Unfortunately, came just short. But he demonstrated why he needs to be taken seriously at the next stage yesterday morning. Balgro against Walker. Mason Martin on the outside. This will be Jordan Ellis back into the game. Darwin Agomi outside in the perimeter. Balgro launching. That one falling away. And it's Jordan Ellis on the transition and the put it in. To further their lead by 20 now, Cordova. Out to Kamani. Offensive foul drawn. Cordova, you could just see completely bothering Pulikides, not letting him get free as a wing shooter. Brendan Walker. And that's Lincoln Ramick drawing some space. A little miscommunication there between him and Davis. Just like veteran, like stewardship by this young Jackson Davis, who is able to communicate well with his teammates, who've garnered so much respect for the incoming junior. Kamani slithering inside and hooks one in over Jordan Ellis. Jackson Davis rims out. Balgro in transition over to Pulikides. That one falls short. Lincoln Ramick able to get in the way. Nico Valley going 20-13 last season, finishing third place in the DuPage Conference with a 4-6 record. Hoping to improve on that. This roster destined to only improve with the age of Cole Kelly. Out of play for Kamani. And that was Jackson applying the pressure. Newly into the game, number 4, Ben Saywan for the Blue Devils. Kamani over to Martin from the wing. That one falls out. Davis picks up the rebound. He's going to go for it himself. Tries to hook one in with the left. And Davis going window shopping here, getting it in off the fiberglass. Pulikides. Broken up by Ramick. Anagomi's chest like bronchitis. Cordova now inside. Blocked by Agomi, now taking the other way. Avalanche of bodies in the paint. And Warner no match for the 6'10 big Darwin Agomi. Ramick now doing his best to stop him. Cordova able to put a hand in there. Gonna get called for a reaching foul. Ten minutes remaining in the second half of play. Jackson Davis off the floor for a quick break, the leading point scorer in the RB Summer Shootout tournament. McGee. Over to Coviello up top. Martin, catch and shoot from the corner. Automatic from that spot. Walker. Draws 2 on him. Up against Kelly. Walker, the focal point of attack for Warren with Davis out. Cordova barging inside. Throwing one up there, and he's going to draw a foul. Lincoln Ramick making way for Jackson Davis. Ben Swayhan off the floor now for Avon King. Cordova buries the free throw. Warren have amassed a 21-point lead. Here's Kelly looking to change things up. That one no good. And it's been stale from beyond the arc for Nico Valley so far in this game. Cordova in open space trying to use the bank, but can't cash in. It's Byron Thomas the other way now. Coviello calling for a tip. And the ref obliges. Still with the Nico Valley Wildcats. Set to take on the St. Lawrence Vikings later on in the day, around 11:15 a.m. Vikings without 3 players who committed to college teams last year. E.J. Mosley, one of them. Jordan Ellis. Davis throwing up a 2-pointer and connects. 21-point lead for Warren. And it's Coviello firing one on the mid-range. And that one falls. Kelly unable to grasp it. Davis from distance. And that was a moonshot from deep. Even too far for Davis's range. Walker to Cordova. Inside on the right. Kick out back to Walker. We're on the top of the perimeter. Angling right. Firing up one on the step back and hits. Byron Thomas on the outside. McGee catching it and finishing underneath the rim. Excellent burst of speed, able to get free and fire one in on the reverse lay. Two number 14s on the floor for Warren. Avon King with a tough finish over Marcus McGee, who has just been getting bodied underneath the rim so far in this game. Avon King able to disrupt in the interior. It'll go the way of the Blue Devils. Warren with their fair share of upsets during their state title run, beating rivals Waukegan in a sectional final 70-60. Jackson Davis with the highlight play, fading away, falling out of bounds from half court to knock home a 3, ending off the first half of that game. And then going on to beat Rolling Meadows 60-48, a team that had dominated the Mid-Suburban League Conference all season, led by Ian Militich, the number 1 recruit of the 2025 class. The Blue Devils handling their fair share of adversity with injuries all season to star players, yet they overcame and made an unprecedented state final appearance. Walker. Feeds that one inside nicely. Avon King, who finishes over Coviello. Javin Griffin tight on Coviello. Picking up his dribble. Looking for help. Inside to Kelly. Kick out back to Coviello. Top of the perimeter. Hooks it inside to Thomas, who tries to go for the hesitation. Brandon Walker doesn't bite, but it's Martin who gets it back. And it's Cole Kelly who goes sky high for the jam. Resurgence of energy from the Wildcats, who looked pretty indolent early in these stages of the game. Davis going over now for an and one. Checking in now is number 15 for Warren, Drake Tiglis. Whole new cast of characters set to come in for Warren Township. Head coach Zach Ryan looking for some game management by these new faces. leading by 22 points. 4 minutes remaining in game 2 of day 3 of the RV Summer Shootout Showcase. Pulakidis motioning for some movement. McGee gets free, top of the perimeter. Outside of Cole Kelly. Switches that one home. Number 3 for Warren, not listed. McGee with the interception. Down the other way. Tries laying that one in over, too short. These new players presumptively called up from the junior varsity team, looking to get some minutes to prove to Coach Ryan their capabilities at the next level for this upcoming regular season. Out to number 25 on the perimeter. That's Ben Sajuan working his way. Caught in traffic, able to get it out back to 22. He's going to step inside to the left. Looking for help, finds Trey Tiglis out on the perimeter. Back out to 22. Great ball movement around. They're rotating it around the horn. Falls out of bounds. Number 3 can't handle the pass. Darlin Nagomi sets it inbound for the Neuqua Valley. Kamani. Out to Thomas. Hooks one inside for Kamani and finishes underneath. There's number 4, Ben Swajuan at the controls now. The most seasoned player left on the floor for the starting 5. Out to number 3. Number 14, Javin Griffin working it around. Trey Tiglis offers one up. It's going to fall short, and we have an injury on the court. That's number 22 falling to the ground. Less than a minute 30 remaining. 86-69. Warren leads. A sizable deficit for Neuqua Valley. Their team set to go 1-2, heading into their 4th and final game in a few hours. A smorgasbord of D1 coaching scouts swarming the bleachers to watch Jackson Davis play tonight, or rather this morning, and they were not disappointed by what they saw. 5 3-pointers made by a 2027 recruit. And this is coming up on a significant year for his recruitment. Still playing over the summer at the club level with Chicago Mean Streets. Named Illinois Mr. Basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year. And that was as a sophomore. He runs the state of Illinois now with Davion Thompson, Devin Cleveland having departed for other states. Cleveland, of course, going to La Lumiere School in Indiana, and Davion Thompson exiting for Link Academy Prep in Missouri. Still finding themselves together at the club circuit, however. Outside of Ben Swajuan. Trying to slip inside, out on his right foot. They're going to call it traveling. There's Tiglis applying the press on Pulikitis. Able to get free. Out to Agomi. Byron Thomas. Foisting one up. East of the mark. Bensei one in transition. Tiglis. Trying to baseline feed that to Lincoln Ramick. It's broken up by Balgro. .5 seconds remaining as we prepare for Hillcrest versus Waukegan to take the floor in a few minutes. Waukegan and Warren, bitter rivals in the DeKalb Conference. Tiglis lofting one up there, too short. Byron Thomas the other way. And he's fouled on the come up. And this will be Thomas to shoot one. Clock continues to run here. 10 seconds now remaining. Hey, that one's going to be buried at the line. Finally, clock stops. 86-70 the score. One of the highest box scores we've seen at this tournament so far. Considering it's only 20-minute halves with a running clock. Both teams with a barrage of baskets as this one ends here, 86-72. Warren taking home the victory by 14 points. Stay tuned. I'll try to get in a post-game interview with Jackson Davis. I'll see what I can do.
Just covering this tournament. How are you doing? In football? I would send it back.
Jack Miller or something else. Your guy, man.
back up real quick here. You want to like take a sit under your shirt? Oh yeah, I want to go with him first. Yeah, absolutely.
Post-game interview underway in a few minutes with Jackson Davis, the #1 prospect in the state of Illinois. I will speak to him pregame before Hillcrest and Waukegan take the floor. Says a tip-off in about a few minutes here.
Perfect. Just tell us underneath your shirt.
Alright.
So like, clip it like right here, maybe would be good.
Right here?
Yeah, that's what. That's great.
Alright, wait, hold on. I think I might have pressed the button or something.
No, it's all good. It's still recording.
Oh, okay.
You're all
Okay.
set.
All right.
If you want to come down right by those cameras.
Yeah.
All right, guys, like 2 minutes. So I'm here post-game with Jackson Davis at the RB Summer Shootout. Over 100 college coaches here in attendance, a lot of them being from D1, high major, Power 5 programs. Coming up on a big year for you in your recruitment. What's more important for you at showcases like these? Is it the exposure or is it winning?
I would say both. I mean, winning, college coaches, I mean, they love guys that can win, and I feel like I show that. And honestly, they know I'm already skilled and what I can do from guard standpoint, from shooting, passing and stuff like that. They just want to see leadership out of me, and winning's key.
2 back-to-back dominant performances for you. A tournament high, 38 points yesterday. Swiss show made threes. Today you had 5. 20-plus point performance. Take us through what's been going right for you these past couple of days.
I would say like just preparation in advance. I've been in the gym shooting a lot.
Sure.
And yeah, I feel like getting as much reps as you can. Make sure you hit shots at a high clip.
And then talk about this duo that you've established with Braylon Walker. It seems that you guys have been working great together. He's going to be a senior heading into this upcoming year. You guys have just been trading buckets all weekend together. What's it like working with him?
It's wonderful. I mean, like that's my family. That's my brother. I've known him since 3rd or 4th grade. And we've been building this together since forever. So I mean, it's a senior year, so we're going to try to end it off with a state championship.
That's great. Hoping to build on last year's performance. And then last question about the state of Illinois basketball as a whole. Unfortunately, we've seen the departures of guys like Davion Thompson, your teammate, Devin Cleveland. What do you think Illinois needs to do as a state to get the premier talents back into the city? Right now they've all been leaving for these prep academies.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I feel like for the guys to stay, I mean, we just need like a prep school in Illinois where the top guys can play at a national level and get that national exposure.
For sure. Thank you so much. Great game. Best of luck against Peoria Richwood in a few hours. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Best of luck, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was post-game with Jackson Davis. Speaking to him on a variety of topics, one of them being the state of Illinois basketball at the moment. What's become evidently clear is that a lot of the top talent in the state have been leaving for academies elsewhere in the country, including his teammate Davion Thompson on the EYBL circuit. So speaking to him more about what needs to be done, he agrees there needs to be more prep academies in the area to foster such high talent. Donda Academy once existed during the COVID era for Chicago, but that backflopped miserably. Looking for some more consistency in terms of program dominance. But Jackson Davis, another great performance, and just a great person in general, as you can see. What's up?
Are you not on?
Yeah, I'm about to set up to be on, but I was just, I'm off right now, yeah. Did you see the game before this?
Was that Cole Kelly in there?
Cole Kelly and Warren, yeah. Jackson Davis had like another insane performance. He's fucking gross, yeah.
So was Cole Kelly.
Yeah. What was crazy about that game is like Michigan State, Nebraska, Iowa, they were all here watching. They're still there too, a couple of them. So.
Dude, well, Cole Kelly has offers from like UMI.
Yeah, no, he's 28, right? So he's a sophomore. Yeah. And he's so tall too, like, and he's a guard. That's the thing. He's that talented.
He also doesn't miss, and he shoots from up here.
Yeah.
He can't get blocked.
Great rim protector too. But yeah, I talked to Jackson a little bit. I got an interview with him.
Oh, yeah?
Very cool guy.
Yeah, I've heard he's a nice player.
Yeah, he's nice. Pretty pedigree too.
Yeah, he's
Really chill, yeah.
Dude, I'm supposed to clock off at 11. Best believe I'm leaving now.
Yeah, bro. I'll see you. Hey, thank you for the parking spot. Yeah. Welcome back to the RB Summer Shootout. Game 3 of the tournament. As we join you, had a great time with number 3, Jolly Love, almost taking it for the flush inside on Hillcrest. Came up just short there of a highlight reel play. We jump in with Waukegan leading 22-11 with 8 minutes remaining in this first half of action. And we welcome you back to Game 4 on Sunday at the Riverside Brookfield Summer Shootout. It is Joliet West versus Homewood Flossmoor. The last time these two teams met was in the regular season of last year, and it was electric. Joliet West came away with the upset win. Looking to repeat that here today. Joliet West, the Tigers leading 4-0 here in these opening minutes. That's number 30, McKees Johnson, trying to get downhill. Able to rip it away. Hands it off to number 13, Amir Shaman. Pocket pass to number 15, Luke Gravengold. Unable to come up with it there. With number 5, Ethan Jackson now. A guard for this young Viking team. that has several underclassmen rostered, including Darius Hawkins Jr., number 4, the player to watch on this court. A strong, up-and-coming sophomore that showed out yesterday against Warren Township in a narrow loss. Most definitely putting his name out there, though, among hundreds of college coaches in attendance here today and this weekend. Number 2, Chipper Price. That's number 9. Marvin Douglas on the ball. Sliding left. We'll try to bury one over, but it's blocked by number 40, Ryan Lipke. Danny Ruffin out to Sam Carter, who's going to try to go inside, and there's going to be a foul called. Joliet West leading 4-2 these opening 2 minutes. Biggest storyline for Homewood Flossmoor is that they are dealing with the departure of their former head coach, and Jameer Dismukes, who has gone on to the collegiate level, taking an assistant coaching vacancy at Long Island University. Brandon Brown has stepped up to become the head coach, a trusted individual among inside circles in Homewood Flossmoor. He's been with the program for a while and as an assistant is now stepping up into a leadership role with the team. On the other end of the floor is the dynamic Jeremy Krieger, the long-standing head coach for the Joliet West Tigers. Has seen a plethora of talent come through his program, including Jeremy Fierce, who now plays college ball at Michigan State. Zion Gross, their leader last year. Handing it off to Zamir Shannon in the paint. Trying to get it up and over his Lipke, but he's fouled in the way. John Brown IV standing in at 6'7" on the floor in the front court for Homewood Flossmoor. Kendall Bosby with the handoff to Luke Ravengold, who goes up and nets that one in. 8-6, the Vikings lead still. This is number 2, Danny Ruffin at the trigger. They'll try to wheel one inside there to Marvin Douglas. He's able to maintain possession. Outside in the perimeter on the right wing. And they get stuck. Harassed by number 21, Kendall Bosby. And number 30, McKees Johnson trying to make a play. Keaton Dixon inbounding it now. It'll be Danny Ruffin once again, their 6-foot guard in the class of 2027, an incoming junior. Out to number 5, Ethan Jackson on the left wing. Baseline jumper, and it's good. Tying the game up at 8. With Flossmoor applying the pressure early. Gravengood able to get free. And that's out to Bosby in space. He can't hit it. But it's Lipke there with the rebound. Trying to get the putback attempt, and it's good on the third try by number 15, Luke Gravengold. Driving in with pace is Ruffin, and he gets it over the glass. And Joy West don't know where that one went. It's a baseline feed to number 14, Caden Dixon. Can't come away with it. Spinning now in pirouettes. Danny Ruffin with the finish, capitalizing off of a costly turnover by Joy West. The other way now for Kendall Bosby. Amir Shannon, who was lurking on the wing now, going to sub off. He was labeled as a player to watch coming into this weekend for the Joliet West Tigers, alongside other names such as Ethan Hillsman, who we've yet to see come into the fold yet. Now in the mix is number 14, Brockton Gorky for the Tigers. Joliet West currently 1-2 heading into their final game of action, losing to Peoria Richwoods, De La Salle, but coming up on top earlier this morning against Lake Park, 50-30. Homewood Flossmoor falling short to Warren, Neuqua Valley, and Leo Catholic, so they're 0-3 on the day. Licky trying to get it lofted over, can't connect, it falls short. He's going to want that one back like a 2 a.m. text. It'll be Joel West inbound underneath. Bosby. Out to Johnson, who barrels inside and is able to try to get it over. That's number 6, Carter. And Dixon there, forcing a foul. Johnson buries that free throw. Score now up at 12 now. Driving inside is Homewood Flossmoor, and it's rejected by Lipke. That was number 11, Jeffrey Cade, trying to get through. There'll be a defensive foul on Lipke. Bosby getting through, stop and go on Ethan Jackson. And his foul on the come up. Bosby, the catalyst for this offense in these opening stages. Johnson has been an imposing big inside on this undersized and new and fresh into the high school game Homewood Flossmoor squad. The absence of John Brown is being felt. They'll now take Marvin Douglas into the game as he checks into the scorer's table, trying to deal with that big body presence that Johnson offers. 14, Gorky to Gravengold. Gorky sizing up on Caden Dixon. And he'll pull one from 3. It's tipped away, and it's going to ricochet into the hands of Ruffin on the fast break. Corner 3. That rolls out. That was number 11, Jeffrey Cade. Johnson. Staying on the right side, corner 3 for Gravengold. He stops and goes. Jumper in the mid-range. Short. Dixon. It's the kick out to Cade, who's going to loft one in over, and it'll scoop in over the outstretched hand of Hunter Lipke. Gorky. Angling left. He'll get out to Gravengold, and it's going to fall out of play. Outside to Johnson, who hesitates. He's going to try to draw the contact, and that's not enough on that shot. Marvin Douglas going the other way. And with the putback layup finish is Jeffrey Cade. with the finger roll over there. Johnson crossing up on Ruffin. Gravengo trying to sneak that one in over Ruffin. It'll be Lipke there with the putback. And now it's some back and forth high-paced action here. Falls out of bounds for Douglas. And the momentum is stopped. Bosby will check back in as Lipke checks out. Amir Shannon running to the wing. Bosby filling up on Cade. It'll go for the mid-range, and that'll fall away. It's Johnson pinned underneath. And they'll go wide of basketball with the putback. And with the finish is Amir Shannon. Joy Wett's leading scorer throughout this tournament. Dixon now with it. Looking for help. Perimeter Ruffin. Dixon. Barging in on the right side. Ruffin, kick out to Dixon now on the right perimeter. He'll attack the baseline and will draw a foul. Another substitution for the Tigers. Avery Robinson joining the fold in place for Mickey's Johnson. Joshua Calvert also enters. Inbound to Ruffin. He'll do a catch and shoot three. Skitters out. Going the other way, it's Amir Shannon. Will drive in right. It's going to be pitched away and called for foul. It seems that both opponents have found their match today after struggling on earlier in the weekend. These teams poised for one more great game. Amir Shannon will step back on the mid-range and that'll fall short. It'll be Ruffin now, pushing the pace. Gets it in off the glass. Kendall Bosby. Dishing it out wide. Who gets his pocket picked by John Brown. He'll stay with it. Trying to go up, but he's fouled as he jumps into the air. He'll go to the line. John Brown. Ruffin surveying his options at the top of the left wing. Ruffin, great feed inside. And that was Sam Carter with the finish, putting HF ahead by 3. Trying to dislodge it there is Jeffrey Cade applying the pressure. He's on top of Kendall Bosby like white on rice. Sliding left now, that's number 3, Amy Robinson. That's pushed out of bounds. Another miscue by Joya West in the lead-up. A new look Homewood Flossmoor team without the likes of Jaden Tyler, who's now committed to Wofford. Ethan Howard and Arden Eves have also had to depart after their senior year. Some valuable pieces, so this is a completely new and revamped roster with a lot of young talent. Brent Taylor, the transfer from Lincoln Way East, has also left. Joya West doing without their main man and Zion Gross as well, hoping Ethan Hillsman can come into a nice role that will support the team. Amir Shannon, another player that Jeremy Crocker has his eyes on for a bigger role. And with the putback there is Marvin Douglas, a player that has been with the varsity ranks for a couple of years now. Jeremy Ruffin with the interception. Homewood Flossmoor going fast. In stride now, John Brown stepping through and will get behind, but can't land the bucket. It's going to be a travel. John Brown using his frequent flyer miles to get downhill. Luke Ravengard. Top of the key. Wide now. A Robinson who pulls a three, and that's way off the mark. Coming up on almost 3 minutes remaining. Low scoring affair. We saw Warren take the victory over Neuqua Valley earlier, 86-72. Unlucky that was such a high scoring match here today. It's been a defensive slugfest underneath the rim. John Brown trying to get free. It'll be heaved across court to Ruffin, who'll come away with it over Gravengood's hands. Sam Carter hesitating. Ruffin trying to get himself free. It'll be Douglas at the top. He'll find a nice lane inside and get it to go with the right hand. Gravengood able to pull away from two defenders. It's out wide now for Robinson. He'll come inside on the baseline. Coming in over John Brown, who draws the charge. Excellent defensive work rate from Brown. Putting himself in a vulnerable position underneath. Danny Ruffin now. He'll take it for himself. And it's John Brown trying to go sky high. And that will dance around the rim. But it can't be converted by HF. Instead, Douglas will earn a trip to the line. Drills the free throw. Bolstering Homewood Flossmoor's lead to 8 now. 2 minutes left. Elisha Wilson loses the handle. Douglas quick to capitalize and takes it for the flush. Almost another giveaway there. Devin Triplett does well. Hoisting a three now. That's off the mark by number 31, Joshua Calvert. A new cast of characters into the game for Joliet West. Devin Triplett to inbound. Finds Robinson. Hands it. Corner three for Calvert. Once again off the mark. Jeffrey Cade there to grab it. He'll wheel left. John Brown. Stop and go. He'll go for the right hand elbow. Douglas. Far out of play. We'll stay in possession of the Homewood Flossmoor Vikings, leading 28-18 as we approach the final minute of regulation in this first half. Douglas, he's going to go left and almost finish with the jam. Comes up just short. Triplett, unable to get that one. Calvert at the line after absorbing contact on the way up for the board. That one will fall out. Marvin Douglas there. Standing in at 6'4". An impressive wing player for the Vikings. Cade over to Douglas. 15 seconds remaining. It'll be Cade trying to get the final possession here. Dixon over to John Brown. Sam Carter, now he's going to drive in for himself. And he'll put it in. Lofting it over Gravengold. And time expires in the first half before Joliet West have a chance to heave up a shot. And that's how things will end going into the second half. 30-18 in favor of the Homewood Flossmoor Vikings. And we're back with second half coverage. It'll be Mickey Johnson at the point. Over to Bosby. 30-18, the Homer Flossmoor leads. Jaleel West looking for a resurgence. Gravengold hoists. It's Gravengold down there with the rebound and the putback, and that was Ryan Lipke there with the three-point attempt. It'll be Douglas. Wheeling it over to Sam Carter, who kicks it back out to Danny Ruffin, who resets. Danny Ruffin marshalling play. John Brown thinks about it. Gives it to Carter. Ruffin, stop and go. John Brown pulls up for three. That's wide of the mark. Amir Shannon over to Gravengold. He's going to go for himself. Pocket pass to Lipke with the exclamation point. Throws it down with no one on him. Great work from Gravengold, drawing in the pressure and collapsing. Hands it right over to Lipke with the easy put down. Ruffin over to Douglas. And Joey West have cut the deficit now to within 8. Douglas off to Sam Carter. Wheels it out to Ruffin, who goes left. It's going to go out of bounds on Joey West. He'll stay in possession for Homer Flossmoor. Homer Flossmoor losing to Rich Township in the playoffs of last season. More was a thriller and an upset. Led by Jameer Disney, because this team was the state champions in the 2023-24 season. Johnny Cobb, who now has transferred to Northern Illinois University after formerly committing to Columbia, led the charge for that Vikings team from 2 years prior. Danny Ruffin now, as of present, knocks that one down. 32-22. Vikings lead by 10. Bosby at the controls. Marshalling play. And he'll kick it out to Mickey Johnson. He'll go for a three and bang that one home. Within 7 now. Joliet West 1-2 on the weekend. New Homer Flossmoor looking for their first win between Saturday and Sunday of play. Out to Marvin Douglas. Cade with it, he's spinning. Looking for help. Well defended by Amir Shannon. They're called violation. Other way now for the Tigers. McKees Johnson with open space. Had an open look but couldn't capitalize. And it's Lipke there with the second jam in the second half. A beast down low in the paint. Something that cannot be reckoned with by Homer Flossmoor, but it's Danny Ruffin there with the elbow jump shot. Timeout called by head coach Brandon Brown. Joliet West slowly chipping away. They have stymied Homer Flossmoor's progress built on earlier in the first half. Looking on from the benches, Tim Winkler, a highly coveted recruit transferring to Illinois for a senior season, hailing from Florida at IMG Academy. He grew up native to Illinois and will finish off his high school career playing for the Romeoville Spartans, who are set to tip off after this game against MacArthur. Head coach Jeremy Crowder galvanizing his team. Most likely unimpressed from what he's seen so far. They put up a valiant battle in their last outing against the Vikings in the regular season of last year, narrowly losing 59-58, putting Homewood Flossmoor on upset watch at the time. Inbound now for Mickey Johnson. We'll go to Bosby. Commandeering his front court. It's Bosby. He's being hounded by Jeffrey Cade, but he'll find some space and free himself to cash that one in off the bank. Tightening this game even further. It's Marvin Douglas now. Surveying the court. Off to Ruffin. Looking for an option. Pinned down beneath at the wing. He'll get free into the inside. Pocket pass inside to Dixon, who can't come away with it. And it'll stay by way of the Vikings. McKeith Johnson doing well to disrupt in the interior. He and Ryan Lipke have been combining for some elite rim protection so far. Inside to Sam Carter, who puts it away. Tucking it in under the glass. Gravengo looking for the catch and shoot. Wheel inside instead, trying to go with the underhand lane, get fouled in the process. It'll be Gravengo to shoot one. Trailing by 7, Cracker calls a timeout. Little recap of the action for what we've seen so far over the course of this morning. Warren defeating Neco Valley 86-72 in Game 2 of Sunday at the RB Summer Shootout. Waukegan taking on Hillcrest in the following game and coming out victorious. Two teams there from the DeKalb Conference. And then Glenbard East earlier today beating Walter Payton Prep 58-50, led by highly sought-out recruit Michael Nee and Caden Williams, an up-and-coming who's been having his stock rising in the last few years or so. Jeffrey Cade with the rebound after that one swirls out. A young Homewood Flossmoor team that is putting up a great fight against this Joliet West Tigers team that is experienced and battle-tested. Ruffin going downhill on this attempted screen. Baseline feed to Jeffrey Cade, but it's knocked away by Mickey Johnson. Marvin Douglas. He'll try to tuck that one underneath, and it's too short. Lipke in transition. And going up for it is Bosby, and tipping it in is Ryan Lipke. Unstoppable underneath. Jeffrey Cade working on the perimeter. He'll cut inside and lay it in over Kendall Bosby and Ryan Lipke. Dropping his shoulder to fake it like he's rotating it wide to the left, and he'll go right inside on the right. Kick out. Back door there to McKeith Johnson, and it goes out of bounds. Ruffin puts a hand in the way. John Brown and Ethan Jackson checking back in. In the place of Sam Carter and Marvin Douglas. Bosby. Angling left. It's Dixon ushering him outside. And now it'll be Ethan Jackson trying to contain Johnson, and it'll be a backdoor three. No good for Gravengold. Trying to put it underneath is Johnson, and he'll get fouled. Homewood Flossmoor leading by 7. Lipke trying to get the putback attempt. And it's broken up. Finally, Johnson with the lay-in. And that'll be an and one play, so that's a 3 points ever closer now for Joliet West as they're trailing only by 4. Ethan Jackson over to Ruffin inside, who converts. Bosby trying not to get his pocket picked. It'll be inside to Gravengold, who's fouled. Trying to come up through the pressure. A pile of humanity stacked up on top of him in the hole. He'll earn a trip to the line. And Gravengold pulls it off the mark on the free throw. HF leading, up by 6. Ethan Jackson at the helm. Out to John Brown. They're 6-7 forward. Cannon Dixon tries floating one up. And it's John Brown with the rebound. Hit to the ground by Gravengold. Amir Sham to check back into the game for Joliet West. Dangerous playmaker. Here Brown nets that one in with ease. Kendall Bosby now coming up the floor. He'll leave it for Shannon on the wing. Inside to Johnson. Trying to get fancy, and it's ripped away. Off to Ruffin. With speed now. Gravengold won't budge. Over to Brown. Rotating it to Chad Jackson, who's going to pull it from the elbow and knock that one down. Extending it to a 10-point lead now for the Vikings. Bosby. Momentum picking up. Both teams showing a higher tempo. Johnson bullying it in, carrying it inside, and will get fouled. Brute force and muscle used by Johnson to get inside of his defender. Joliet West, unfortunately, coming up short in the regional championships of last year, losing to Bloom, led by Elijah Lovemore, 50-46, beating Thornwood in the opening game of the postseason. Hoping for some better results to come in the 2025-26 campaign. But for now, it's Ethan Jackson over to Dixon. Dixon struggling, finding Brown was able to keep it in. Free some space for himself, and he'll hand it over to Jeffrey Cade, who can work some magic, twirling and finishing. Getting it in over Gravengold. Johnson now. He'll pull up from beyond the arc, and that'll be no good. It's Gorky to Bosby now outside. Bosby throwing one up. Cashing it in, but it won't count. Inbound to Bosby. Gorky. Working on Caden Dixon. Bosby's thinking about pulling up. Gravengo will try to make it inside over Brown, and he's too tall. Ruffin. Over to Jackson on the wing. Ruffin carrying it to the center. Some movement now between Cade and Ruffin. Freeing up Jackson. Over on the edge with Ruffin again. Brown. Cashing one up for three and knocks that one down. 13-point lead now for the Vikings as they lead 49-36. Kendall Bosby. Over to Amir Shannon. He'll snake inside on the left. Pirouettes. And that one falls to the east of the basket. Ryan Lipke coming back on in the place of Luke Gravengold. Crocker needing a bit more from his team if they want to come back here. 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. New into the fold, number 1, Elijah Wilson. A 5'9" point guard. In the class of 2027, he'll be an incoming junior. Jeffrey Cade working on him. And Cade gets to the basket in stride. Cross court to Lipke, and that'll be tipped out of bounds by John Brown. It'll stay by way of the Tigers. Trailing by 13 with 6 minutes now remaining. Wilson inside of Lipke. Muscling up against Brown. And showing his veteran strength over the younger incoming sophomore. Jeffrey Cade. Ruffin finding a body in Caden Dixon. Barging left. And floating that one in over Lipke. Amir Shannon with pace. He'll try to lay that one in and gets it, going window shopping. Depositing that one in at the bank. Jeffrey Cade. Setting things in motion. Ruffin. Outside reset. And that was Ethan Jackson with the attempt. Amir Shannon. Getting fouled, drawing the contact, and drawing the foul. Shannon will travel to the line. Leading the team in points over the weekend. Joey West electing to now go with Ethan Hillsman, a valuable commodity for this team upcoming in the season. Flash out of bounds. Dixon. Long side. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, what about him? Right? Dixon now to shoot 2. Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Mickey's Johnson. Over to Wilson on the wing. Can't connect. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Time winding down for Joy West. John Brown. Working on Ruffin. Motioning Sam Carter for the cut. It'll be Dixon hoisting one up. Shannon collects. He'll take it quickly the other way. Craven Gold. Craven Gold. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Both of these teams, last game of the weekend, looking to make an impact not only in the win column but also in front of these college coaches in attendance. And it's Sam Carter to Sean Brown. Brown gets caught up trying to hand it off to Ruffin. A miscue by the 6'7" forward. Shannon now. Gets downhill, tries to lay it over the glass. Foul called. Okay, it's facing the floor. Craven Gold, tight on him. Ruffin now. He'll wheel inside. Try to get out to Licky, but he's able to pilfer from Ruffin's possession. And Sean Brown with the denial underneath. And that was Craven Gold trying to get up into the hole. That one will fall out from the free throw range. Craven Gold shooting 2, however. And the second attempt is successful. Kate Dixon take it quickly the other way. Try to launch that one up over Lipke. Lipke now at the controls. Over to Gravengood who gets it in transition. Old Flossmore not getting back in time. Joel West taking advantage. Under duress is Ruffin, and it's a avalanche of bodies by the halfway line. Timeout called by head coach Brandon Brown. 1:08 remaining. Homer Flossmore leading by 8 as we head into a quick break. It'll be Homer Flossmore on the inbound. They keep it away from Joel West for the time being. Kate Dixon looking to manage the clock. 1 minute remaining now. Dixon. Ruffin. It's going to be a backcourt violation as he tries to catch that one and keep it in over the halfway line. but to no avail as Sawyer West will have 50 seconds to score 8 points. Bosby trying to go fast. It'll be Shannon underneath. Pocket pass over to Lipke, who gets fouled on the come up. 2 crucial free throws coming up for the 6'7" forward from the class of 2027. Makes the first one. The Tigers hoping to trail by just 2 scores if Lipke can drill the second. And he does. Another timeout call as Cragger's playing to win here. On the other side of the floor, a tight one ends in a victory for the team in yellow as they take it away from Neuqua Valley. 65-64. That was Leo Catholic. Pardon me, St. Lawrence. A 3A powerhouse that advanced all the way to the state series last year. Now without the likes of E.J. Mosley and a few other key pieces. Curious to see what strategy head coach Jamie Cragger employs. They may want to foul early here, but behind by 6. They can't afford for Homewood Frostmore to travel down the court for another score. (55-49) the Vikings lead. It'll be Kate's inbound. And that was Mickey Johnson trying to dislodge it from the hands of Dixon. It'll be a foul called. Dixon being clamped by 2 defenders from Joliet West. Mickey Johnson and Luke Raven going able to fall on top of him like whipped cream on a Sunday. Ruffin trying to get free. Cade will inbound it to Carter, who's able to jump over Bosby. Jump ball call now. It'll still stay with the Homewood Frostmore Vikings. Dixon underneath, struggling, able to knock it away to Cade, who will now get fouled from behind. Krieger knows he was so close there for the turnover. Still time remaining with 32.5 seconds left on the clock. And head coach Brandon Brown motioning his team to move past, being ready for transition. Appeals from head coach Krieger. Jeffrey Cade to shoot. 2 vital free throws coming up, trying to make this beyond a 2-score game. And he'll break the first one. Ruffin offering some encouragement. Jeffrey Cade, a class of 2028, 5'11" guard, and he'll miss both, leaving an opening for Joliet West. Loki loses the handle. This could be it. Ruffin trying to cap this one off with a nice lay in the bucket. 37-49 the score now, and this one's going to be tossed out of bounds, and that could be the game for Joliet West. What seems to be an unfortunate ending for what was a close game. But here's with the rip away. That's Amir Shannon with some consolation. Clock still winding down. 4 seconds are now remaining. As the ball will head to the other side of the floor. Homewood Flossmoor leading by 6. Huffman buries the free throw. Making both is Danny Ruffin. It'll be McKees Johnson hoisting one for the final time, and that will end with a Homewood Flossmoor victory, 59-51, the final score. The Vikings going 1-3 on their weekend. As we set to get underway here for tip-off, Romeoville versus MacArthur next up. Testing 1, 2, 3. And we welcome you for Game 5 on Court 5. This time, Romeoville Spartans taking on the MacArthur Generals. ball lies on number 32, Tim Winkler for Romeoville. A highly sought after recruit who has transferred from Florida to spend his final season in Illinois. Has picked up offers from Auburn and other major D1 programs. Some call him the best prospect in the class of 2026, and we will see if that is the case here today. MacArthur hailing from Decatur, Illinois. Last season boasting a record of 24-9 and finishing 9-1 in the Central State 8 Conference. Be going against a Romeoville team that underperformed last season. Hoping to improve today. It'll be Winkler versus number 20 to tip at the start. Kymir Carson on the ball. Over to Clements, who pulls one from 3 early, and that'll be way off the mark. And that's Jacory Murphy struggling to keep that in. Winkler on the perimeter, hands it off. That's number 3, Xavier Johnson. At the helm, at guard with the tattered shirt is number 3, Xavier Johnson. Over to Winkler, looking to work inside here. That's to Johnson, who hoists one up from 3. And now falls short, but he'll collect his own rebound once again. Number 4, John Payne, battling on the outside. Broken up by number 1, Tyshawn Clements. Out to number 23, Charles Rice on the fast break. And he'll fall out of bounds. Testing, 1, 2, 3. John Payne back on the ball. Working against MacArthur and gets his pocket picked, and that's Kymir Carson with the finish on the other end for the first points of the game. Xavier Johnson trying to turn it around now for Romeoville, going the other way. They're going to call that a violation on Johnson now. Early on in the preseason for both of these teams, and they're still working out the kinks. MacArthur, led by head coach Therese Bryson, Romeoville by Mark Howard. That's number 12, Kendall Howell inside, who will get the bucket to go. Johnson will carry it the other way. Number 1, Dion Grant on the floor as well. Tim Winkler still trying to get involved now in this game. Number 15, who's not listed on the roster. Winkler inside. It's pulled away from him. Number 23, Charles Rice taking it down. Laid in nicely by number 4, Kymir Carson once again. Mishandled by Dion Grant. Trying to find number 15, Ohima Ozolua. Kymir Carson with the handles up top. Out to Clements, who will pull one from deep. And that'll clatter out. Johnson now. Looking for an answer to MacArthur. Currently leading by 6. Winkler. Imposing on the inside. He'll set a screen. Johnson motioning for his players. It gets no help. It'll be number 12, Kendall Howell, inside with the lay. Timeout call for Romeoville. Winkler still looking to get involved here. Spartans held scoreless in the opening 4 minutes. Romeo still with 1 left to play against Hyde Park at 2 p.m. They came up short against Marist earlier on Saturday, losing 61-46, and then falling short to Glenbard North later that day at 2:25 p.m. So they are 0-2 heading into today's matchup. On the other end, MacArthur winning against Marist 54-47, a very talented team Marist is seen as. So that was a great result for these Generals hailing from Decatur, and then losing to Glenbard North earlier round before that. Charles Rice rising up, and that's with the block, number 13, not listed, Tim Winkler. Shakory Murphy ripping it free. Kymir Carson directing traffic at the center with Charles Rice. They're going to call a pushing on number 30, Dalen Porter. Clemens. Carson in the corner. Inside to number 12, Kendall Howell. Murphy tries flowing one up, and he'll get the second putback. 8-0 now for MacArthur, who are running up the score early here at Romeoville. The Spartans still looking for their first points of the game. Winkler mishandles, able to keep it in. Hands it off to Porter. Porter marshalling play. Winkler attacking the baseline. He'll spin around. Missing the finish, but getting the putback on the second try. And that catches in for the first bucket of the day for Romeoville. Keyshawn Clements up against Xavier Johnson. Similar in stature. Howell setting the screen. Clements rolling downhill. We'll give it back to Howell, who will get blocked on the way up by Winkler. Winkler digging inside. He'll get it in with the left-hand lay. Accounting for Romeoville's first 2 scores of the game. Carson, the trigger man for MacArthur's offense at the start. He'll lose it but get it back. And it's back up top with Clements. It's going to roll inside. And with the right hand lay, that falls after bouncing around the rim. Carson on the fast break turnover. And he'll get the and one to set MacArthur ahead by 9 in these early stages. And that's Porter dealing with some pressure. They're going to call a foul on Shakory Murphy. Checking back into the game is Sean Payne for the Spartans. MacArthur dominating in a conference that was also occupied by Glenwood, who made it far into the state finals of last year before falling short to the ball prep in the semis. And there's Tishon Clements trying to get the lay, and that just doesn't fall in his favor. Back the other way. In stride there was number 30, Dalen Porter. It was ripped away. It'll be out on Romeoville, in for Carson, who inbounds it to Clements, and back to Carson now. MacArthur trying to build their momentum with that impressive result against Marist earlier on yesterday. Howe with the nice finish down below. One of MacArthur's more imposing bigs, and you can see Therese Bryson getting active on the sideline there as that's number 15. Howe with the put down. And that'll get the bench going. Setting the tone early here. MacArthur leading 17-4. And Winkler falls as Murphy tries to attack that pass. Romeoville to inbound, down early by 13 points, losing 17-4. John Payne handing it to Porter. Patting the pill up top. Payne with the catch and shoot three at the top. Foul called on Clements. It'll be Payne to take at the free throw line. Number 11, Sammy Carticello into the game for the Ville. Clements hesitating. He'll try to go right. He'll settle for a three. Can't nail the triple. Murphy gets fouled while trying to grab the board inside, and he'll also go to the line now. This game getting slowed down tremendously by both teams getting into foul trouble early. And that was Murphy missing the first. Winkler will check out in the place of number 23 Charles Rice. Or rather, that is AJ Ivy. John Payne surveying the floor. Carticello able to handle it. Over to Ivy. Mishandling it. It's John Payne, and it's snatched away and down the other end. And that was number 2 Sean Lee trying to go up and under, and gets hacked at from behind, so he'll go to the line. Chalks up that free throw, and it's good. On the edge is Dalen Porter. And they'll call that a foul on MacArthur. Ball security has been an issue for both teams so far. Especially for Romeoville, who have had some costly turnovers that has led to their 15-point deficit as we approach under 8 minutes left in this first half. John Payne wheeling around. Once again snatched away, and it's Kendall Howell down on the other end. He'll get it in over 2 defenders. Cannot be stopped underneath Kendall Howell. John Payne now able to get it through 3 as he gets fouled in stride towards the basket. The score 21-4. Somerville needing to chip away at this deficit that they've accrued. That'll help towards their cause. 21-5 now the score. Tyshawn Clements launching one up for 3 from distance, and that one's not going to be good. Conicello getting down and dirty on the ground. It'll stay with MacArthur for the inbound. Over to Charles Rice, it's Howell now. Clements. Tyler Cook entering the fold for the Generals. Howell, reset up top. And that's Rice who falls while trying to make that pass. It's going to be cross-court in the transition for Romeoville. Winkler for the mid-range. He'll try to feed it inside. It's going to stay outside with MacArthur. Working around the perimeter. It's corner now for Charles Rice. Sean Lee. Out to Clemens. Inside to Howell. Pulling 1 for 3. Nailing the triple is Charles Rice, extending MacArthur's lead to nearly 20. Up by 18, 24-6. John Payne. Conicello, catch and shoot from the mid-range. Quick to push the pace now is MacArthur. Looking to run up the score on the Spartans. Working around, rotating it around the horn before capping it off. Sean Lee underneath the basket. John Payne being hounded by Tyshawn Clemens, applying the pressure. And he'll cast one up and find that off the heel. Putback attempt is good by number 23, A.J. Ivey. Timeout called by head coach Therese Bryson after Romeoville scores their first points in a span of 5 minutes. 26-8 to score. MacArthur leading by 18. And the refs trying to get on with the game. Both teams taking too long in the timeout. Kymere Carson looking to set the table for MacArthur. It'll be spearheaded by Tylen Cook, new into the game. Looking for options. He's going to roll to the right before finding inside and back out. Cook with the reset button. Corner 3 for Charles Rice. Can't hit it. Winkler going the other way. And that was fast to H.A. Ivy. Now it's a turnover once again with Kendall Howell. The finishing touch. .20 lead. Just getting out of hand early for Romeoville. In the corner was Xavier Johnson. Tim Winkler. Still looking to get more involved in terms of scoring. Has not done much for himself. As they chill heavily here. Intercepted, it's down the other way quickly. And with the fudge is number 12, Kendall Howell. Putting a stop to number 6, Kaden Ellis. Tylen Cook carrying it up. And Kendall Howell has just been commanding the floor so far from MacArthur, their leading scorer. Spike scoring all of his points in the paint. And that one's going to rattle in for Tyshawn Clemens. 23-point lead, 31-8 to score. Almost 2 remaining in this first half, and it can't come soon enough for the Romeoville Spartans. Spinning around is Tim Winkler trying to use his body. He'll do a turnaround jumper. Top of the right elbow, that's going to fall out. Clemens. Over to Cook, who's going to drive inside. Dishing it out to Charles Rice. Kendall Howell. Reset with Clemens, who's going to pull one from 3, and that one's money. Therese Bryson. Still encouraging his team to play even harder, despite leading by 26. And falling back is Xavier Johnson, who can't get that one through. Howell going quickly the other way, and he's going to get fouled. Number 15, Seth Covington committing the crime. Now in the mix for Romeoville, number 1, Deion Grant. Clock continuing to wind down. Less than a minute 30 remaining. Howell puts up the free throw and nails it. (37-8) to score. MacArthur molly-whopping Romeoville in this first half. Inside of Howell, tries to get the quick put up. Clock will continue to run. One shot for Kendall Howell. 24.9 seconds remaining. Can't connect. Number 21, JT Moore keeping it in. Over to Clemens. Carson. Looking to have the final possession of this game. He's surveying the floor, lofts it over to Carson. They're playing keep away with the Romeoville defense. Howell back out to Clemens, who's, we can assume is going to put up one more 3, and here it is. And buries that one from way downtown to end off the first half. Summative of this MacArthur performance so far, just complete domination on both ends of the floor. 39-8, the Generals lead heading into the break. And welcome back to some second half action. New into the fold for the Romeoville Spartans. It's number 3, Xavier Johnson. And as I was setting up the camera to catch the scoreboard, I heard a little sneak at what head coach Mark Howard was saying to his troops, and it was not good. It was calling his team an embarrassment, said that they were turning their program into a joke. And all of those words were reasonable considering the performance they put on so far today. MacArthur leading 41-8, and this is with Tim Winkler, a rising star, expected to be a top recruit in the 2026 class, who has done virtually nothing so far. Down the other way for Kendall Howell in transition. And slammed home by number 20, Ja'Cory Murphy. Murphy putting his heads in the clouds. Another sign of disrespect on this Romeoville team. 43-8. The score stands wildly in favor of the Generals. As there's Johnson trying to navigate it over to Monticello. John Payne will come underneath, and that one falls too short. Charles Rice muscling with Conicello. It's going to be out in the corner for Clemens, who keeps that in. Howell outside now to Carson, who's going to hesitate, come inside. Charles Rice now casts one up from 3. Banging in the trifecta. We have a rout on our hands. 46-8 the score for MacArthur. Romeoville can't catch a break. Deion Grant. It's going to slip through his hands. The other way for Moore Murphy, who floats that one in over Payne. And it's MacArthur leading by 40 here. A result that no one expected, with Romeoville being the strong favorites heading into this game. Spinning around, there's number 3, Xavier Johnson, for Romeoville's first score of the second half. Keyshawn Clement, MacArthur's diminutive guard, carrying it down. He'll receive it back from Carson. Carson getting free. Top of the paint, unloads. Too much. John Payne over. He's going to step back for a 3, and that one way off the mark. Keyshawn Clements in transition. He's going to heave it across court to Ja'Cory Murphy. Outside in the corner. It's back with Clements on the edge. He's going to wheel towards the center. He's going to try to get past Winkler. Shoot one over. Too little. Sean Payne pushing the pace down the transition. Winkler with the slam. Finally putting Romeoville up in double digits. 48-12 now. Here's Carson dishing it over to Clemens, and they rotate it down the horn. Charles Rice, skip pass. Kendall Howell, no good. Conicello over Payne, who's able to finesse it in with the one hand. He'll cast for the mid-range, and that's not going to work. Mishandled by Howell, out of bounds. Romeoville will have possession. Murphy taken out. In now is JT Moore, number 21. Xavier Johnson able to roll downhill. He'll pull the trigger, and that one falls west of the mark. Tim Winkler down low. Kick out to Johnson. Back with the second Johnson now at the perimeter. He'll will inside. Throw it away. It's going to be a backcourt violation going the way of MacArthur. Another misfire by Romeoville. JP Moore into Clemens. who's been using the court as his canvas all game. Rice, their knockdown wing shooter. Been a formidable trio of Howell, Rice, and Clemens. JT Moore and Sean Lee now in the mix as well. And he'll roll downhill. It'll get called out of bounds. Off the foot of Romeoville, so it'll stay underneath the basket with MacArthur.